Hey guys, and welcome to another Schematics update. This time we want to talk about Dev.me, and I'm joined by Blind. Hey dude.
Hi Adfo, how you doing?
Pretty well. I guess we dive right in. Can you give me a general idea, because I haven't played the game, but you did. What is Dev.me?
So I just want to have a real quick story to start off with. A number of years ago, a little game came out called Game Dev Tycoon, which is kind of a formula of game that I've been chasing ever since. Game Dev Tycoon was like a perfectly paced little game. It wasn't super complicated, it wasn't super engaging, there wasn't a ton going on, but what it did really well. And I think a number of developers have been trying to recreate that game's success and recreate another game that's perfectly balanced in that format. I've also been chasing that. You know, there's more complicated games like Software Inc. Dev_me is very much in the same vein of that. It's a more simplified, almost survivally version of that style of game. So Dev_me, you take the place of a software developer. In the beginning, you'll mostly be doing freelancing, and you have to purchase food, you have to sleep, you have to drink coffee, you have to work long hours. I don't think you ever go outside, and you have to pay rent weekly. So I assume you are in some sort of low-income housing. Overall, it has it's a Game Dev Tycoon style game with a very strange vibe.
To be honest, I mean, low-income housing, no sleep, a little bit of sleep, never going outside sounds to me like a normal indie dev life. But let's talk about the mechanics of the game. How does it play?
So mechanically, it's quite simple. It's very much loading bar focused and timer focused. Let's just say, for example, working some freelance. You have to debate your price. So they'll say $40 to do this job. And then you're just like, well, okay, I want 30% more than that. And it could piss them off. It could, or they could agree, and you kind of haggle up and down by sliding the bar to try and get as much money out of every customer as possible. It seems like some customers are more okay with haggling than others. Others, if you adjust the price, they'll just immediately hang up the phone on you. But it gets more interesting when you're actually creating your own software, your own games. You have to come up with a topic. So your character has to read books. Books can be purchased for massive amounts of money. Apparently simple books cost $300, $400. Yeah. Then you learn about topics, and then you can combine separate topics in the topics menu to come up with different things to create your own games.
A little bit earlier you said you need to eat food and drink coffee and whatever. I assume you buy these stuff, and so there's some survival aspect?
Sort of. So the day is comprised down into action points. Everything you do takes action points. Making a cup of coffee, trying to contact a client, going outside to buy groceries or a book. Everything requires action points, and I think this is just kind of represented in the time of day. Then you also have a food meter. Food needs to be sustained. So every few days you'll need to go outside and you'll need to buy food. This can be anything from ramen, which is cheap and gives you a decent amount of sustain, but also uses up some energy. You could go get something like a Caesar salad, which gives you more energy, but doesn't feed you as much and costs a lot more money. And they all seem to be decently balanced, and the fancier the food gets, the more energy and food you get out of it, but the more it costs. For example, a fancy piece of salmon costs $60, which is ridiculous, versus a bowl of ramen costing you $8. Or cold pizza.
Cold pizza is not the worst food.
You could do worse for yourself, yeah.
Yeah. You talked about gaining knowledge earlier a little bit, so I guess you gain knowledge by reading books?
Yeah, so books are ridiculously expensive. They cost like 2 weeks, 3 weeks rent, and you go, you read the book, and it'll give you a small bonus. So this could either be knowledge towards a topic, it could be a work speed or production speed buff. It could be a better haggling, so you can haggle better with your clients and make more money out of them. So essentially they're like a permanent little buff that you give your character. Once you've read the book, which uses action points, purchase the book, which uses action points, and then spent a day reading the book, you get the buff just kind of permanently applied, from what I can tell.
So there is some sort of like upgrading mechanic in the game. Is it the only one?
You can also upgrade your computer, which unlocks development options. You can upgrade your fridge, which gives you more slots for food. You can, I don't think you can upgrade your coffee machine, which I think is a sin. You can upgrade your bed, which gives you more rest and uses less food over the night. Don't ask me how that works, but you know.
I love eating chips while I sleep. Don't put an open chips box next to my bed. It's empty in the morning. So I totally understand how sleeping can consume food.
It's a well-known fact that Adfo's bed has Pringles containers. It's sort of like a cup holder, but way deeper for a Pringles can.
True fact, yeah. So let's jump into some sort of like conclusion here. What's your impression of the game?
Honestly, I mean, it's a cute little time waster. I wouldn't think too much of it. It's pretty dismissible in a lot of ways, but you know, it's got a eye-catchy little pixel art style, and it's got a cute soundtrack going on in the background. Honestly, I think it's one of those games where it is worth looking into if this is a genre that you like. This seems to be a better one of those. It is in early access right now, and the developer seems to be very committed to updating it. For example, the day I purchased it, which was the 19th, he updated it 3 times in one day with various balance patches. So if you're looking for a time waster, something to play in queue for another game, like a multiplayer game, or something to just kind of have up almost in place of a clicker, it's a fun little $5 thing.
So you already said it's $5 US.
Yep, it's $5 USD or your regional equivalent.
That's quite cheap. So I'm guessing with a time waster you mean like more like people who are looking for deep simulation or anything like that should avoid the game.
One of the reasons why I picked this game up was there was several user reviews that talked about it being difficult. I think that they're misinterpreting difficulty with grindiness. It's quite grindy, so things take a long time to get done. You're going to take a long time getting through the first levels of upgrades because your rent costs a lot, books cost a lot, and food costs a lot. It's a rather slow game. It's not particularly hard, it's just slow. And I think that that'll be fixed with balance patches, hopefully. But yeah, it wasn't quite what I was hoping for, unfortunately. And I hope that it improves.
Cool. So I think we covered everything. Unless you have anything more to say about DevMe?
No, I think I've pretty much covered everything.
Then first of all, thank you for joining and talking about DevMe with me. That sounds weird, but that's how the English language
with me.
apparently works.
DevMe with you. Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, thanks a lot to you guys out there watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, hit the smash the hit button and every button you can find. If you really enjoyed the video and want to do the extra step heading over to Coffee, please do so and support our editor with a little bit of money so he can buy books on how to edit videos better so we can improve our video quality over time. Thanks so much for listening again. See you next time. Bye.
Goodbye.